Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm at Roy Pidcock's, my local BMW dealership, and I'm here to test ride this BMW S1000XR. So sit back, relax, and come along for the ride. So guys, here we are, the BMW S1000XR. This is the new one for 2024. I've also got my Pillion passenger, Amy B here, who's going to give you that Pillion perspective on the end of the day. At the end of the day, this is a cross touring bike, so it is designed for twos up. So let's fire it up and see what she sounds like. So this one's got the BMW standard can on. So this is the TE version, and it's pretty well spec'd up. We'll go through a bit more of that when we get riding. But I would definitely recommend going for the TE spec because you get so much more for your money when you choose that option. Right, here we go. I'm just going to head out of Long Eaton. So the first thing I noticed when I get on the bike, the seat height is quite tall. It's 850 millimeters. It's 10 mil up on last year's version, and they've done that because they're just changing the ergonomics on the bike. At 5'9", I could still touch the floor. I'm kind of on my tiptoes a little bit. I do like this riding position. You do sit into the bike. They've also made that seat bigger as well. The first thoughts is it's fairly comfortable. The clutch is nice and light, although this bike has got the quick shifter having that TE package. And I think the other thing you notice as well, the steering's pretty sharp as well. It's got the 17-inch wheels in the front and rear, unlike my Ducati Multistrada, which is, it's not the Pikes Peak, it's the V4S. You've got a 19-inch front. It does make a difference on the turning. So, you know, this is not just a sports tourer, a cross tourer bike. This is also a very sporty feel to it. So we're still kind of running the bike in. It's only done about 350 miles, so we're not going to do anything too crazy. It's not had its first service yet. But yeah, so far I like the riding position. It feels comfortable. You know, you're kind of on a sports bike, but with that armchair setup. Your knees are tucked in. The tank looks pretty big. That's a 20-litre tank. They reckon that does about 191 miles. So we're in 6th gear there, and this engine is so smooth, but it's got a nice punch to it. Just coming into this roundabout, and as I drop down the gears, that quick shifter is very, very smooth as well. We're coming into this roundabout, and yeah. It feels, for a big bike, 227 kilos, which is actually a kilo more heavier than last year's edition. As I'm knocking down the gears there, it is effortless, very positive, smooth gear changes. I mean, this bike's got 170 brake horsepower, 112 Newton meters of torque. Do you need any more? I think not. Of course, if you do need a little bit more, BMW have also got the M1000XR, 201 brake horsepower. I was just having a look at the one in the showroom back there. Unfortunately, they don't have one on demo for me to try, but yeah, you're talking an absolute animal. If you want to spend about 27 grand and get yourself the full spec carbon sort of M1000XR, then that bike is available. And it certainly competes with the likes of that Ducati Multistrada RS. So today they've given out about 19 degrees, but it does look a little bit overcast. Yeah, one thing I've noticed about the bike, the brakes work really, really well. So even with twos up, this bike just comes to a complete stop. We'll give that a little test in a bit. Yeah, at the minute I'm absolutely loving that quick shifter. Like I say, I'm just on the balls of my feet on this, so you know, I wouldn't fancy taking it off on any lanes. But yeah, the throttle response on that is pretty good. We're only in road mode as well. We'll get it into that dynamic mode. Also finding neutral on the bike is nice and easy. Like I said, that clutch is really light. Yeah, I mean, when you go into these roundabouts, like I said, with them 17-inch wheels on, it turns really sharp. So we're just coming up to a dual carriageway here, so what I'm going to do is just open it up a little bit. There's definitely not a shortage of power there. I do like the power delivery. The throttle's nice, it's nice and smooth, but it's enough punch to get you up to that high-end speed if required. Put the windshield up, so we've got a right action. It's just kind of like in the low or the higher setting. It works quite well. It's easy enough to do on the move. We'll drop down a couple of gears, open the throttle. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice power delivery. Yeah, them brakes are really sharp. Just popped it into dynamic mode, and again, we'll just give it a little, see what the difference is like. Oh, road mode was nice, this dynamic mode is a little bit bonkers. Yeah, really does liven that throttle up. When you get on that throttle in dynamic mode, it really does liven the bike up. Yeah, that's quick. We'll just get it on a few of these twisters. So the suspension feels nice and plush as well. We've got it in dynamic on the suspension. Obviously all the modes, the sports modes can be changed. You can set this bike up however you like. This is a beautiful bike. The pillion seat and the rider's seat are separated. You've got a bit of a backstop there, so when you do accelerate and you want to slide back, it just puts a bit of a stop there. But once you get in these corners, whoa, this bike really performs. I think what you've got here is a really nice sharp turning, high performance bike that is also good for taking the pillion out with you. So, you know, you can adapt it to however you want to ride it. Even with the pillion on, you can kind of throw it around, no problem. Yeah, I feel like you can drop into them corners really late if you want to. The back brake works really good as well. A couple of times I'll just get on the back brake now. Yeah, it really just slow that bike down nice. And then I'll do a combination of the two. Yeah, these brakes work superb. I've got Amy absolutely sliding off into the back of me. I'm having to hold her back. It might be worth putting the sport silencer on if you just want something a little bit more throaty. It's not overpowering on the noise, but then again, I actually prefer that. I would leave this bike completely stopped. So this bike comes in two different colours. You've got the black one and you've got this lovely blue. The blue one is another £410 optional extra, and if you want to go for the white one, which is part of the M Sport package, that's going to cost you another £3,060.
So that's right, £3,060 for the M package. So if you do want that red, white and blue M Sport livery, then you're going to have to buy that M package. And for that M package, you also get things like the sports windscreen, the MC, the M Forge wheels, the M GPS lap trigger, the sport silencer, the M lightweight battery, and also the M endurance chain.
I mean, the bike's not got kind of like that V-twin, that V4 punch, but all in all, I think once you get up into that, once you get on that throttle a little bit and open it up, it really does start to pull in that high rev range. Like I say, that full power comes in at 11,000 RPM. I'll just put it back into road mode because I can quite easily get a little bit carried away with that dynamic. We've got the suspension in auto mode as well. That just kind of helps with balancing the bike out, especially when you're taking a pillion out or you're going to carry that luggage on the bike. So yeah, just going through the road modes on this. So we've got rain, road, and we've also got dynamic. So new for 2024, like I said, it's got that 5 brake horsepower, which has been devised from a new map on the bike. It's also got a USB point there as well. Also, it's got the adaptive cornering headlights, which is a nice feature as well. Yeah, I really do love the handling on this bike. It does feel really well planted. I think that does come from that 17-inch wheel setup. It turns, it's sharp, it's nice and smooth but responsive on the throttle, and the brakes are just superb. Lay by, close the head. We'll see about that. Oh look, it's not closed if you're on a motorcycle. So far, the few miles we've done on the bike, I am super impressed with this. You've really got that sort of sporty feel, but also multiple use. So pillion on the back, you can get your luggage on this one. It is absolutely fully spec'd up. Like I said, this is the TE version. I like the 17-inch front wheel, does look a little bit silly on the bike. You kind of expect a bigger front wheeling, but I prefer it. The twisties that we've just been doing down there, this bike really does feel planted and handles the road really, really well. So this bike's engine's 999cc, it's an inline 4, it's 170 brake horsepower, it's 5 brake horsepower up on last year's model because they've done a remap on it. It's 112 newton meters of torque, which I think is more than enough for today's roads. So this bike is running the Bridgestone Battle Axe tyres. In the back we've got a 190 B55 B17, and in the front we've got a 120 B70 B17. So this bike's weighing in at 227 kilos, 1 kilo more than last year. That's because it's got a bit more tech on it, and it's certainly got some stopping power. So on the front we've got two 230mm discs with a Brembo 4-piston caliper. And on the rear we've got a 265mm single disc with a BMW 2-piston caliper. So this bike's got fully adjustable suspension on the front and the rear. On the front we've got 45mm upside down forks that's also got self-adjusting compression, rebound and dampening. So the suspension on the rear has an electronic preload adjuster and self-adjusting preload compression dampening. So the seat height of 850mm, 10 more than last year. I'm actually on my tiptoes, so I've really got to think about where I'm parking up. We don't want to be putting my foot into a hole. The bike would probably go over. It's quite a thin seat width-wise, so there's a little bit of forgiveness there, and the seat is reasonably comfy, to be honest. But like I said, it's quite a tall bike, so if you are a shorter rider, you might want to look at those other options BMW have for lower seat heights. So yeah, I like the fact that where this pillion seat's situated, it's got a bit of a bump stop, so when you are accelerating, it does sort of stop you from sliding back. As for pillion comfort, we'll find out from my pillion passenger right now what she thinks.
Yeah, so it's really comfortable. I think the handles are good, they're a good size. They're great for when you're accelerating, although I have found without the top box, I'm having to hold on to you so I don't disappear off the back. But that could be the way you ride. But it's definitely comfortable. I think it'd be good for long trips with the luggage on.
So there's a little compartment on the front, not quite sure what it's for, but it's enough just to get your key in. The other thing we're going to do, just listen to this exhaust. Like I said, this is the stock, this is the standard one. Let's just fire it up. But yeah, this is really truly a lovely bike to ride. It's so easy, so smooth. And like I said, the quick shifter works well, the brakes work really well, the acceleration's nice, it doesn't give you that sort of top end sort of speed until you do get into that high rev range, which we're only just running in the bike still as well. It's not had its first service, so they do have that kind of a limit to put on. I mean, they're not cheap bikes. This bike's coming in at 17,200. That's including the blue one. I think stock price on the black one is £16,790 or thereabouts. There's a lot of optional extras. If you want things like the quick shifter, that's another £345. So you can still start adding to the price with all the spec. Like I said, with this TE version, you do get that dynamic pack and the touring pack. So with all that, you do save a few quid, and the bike then is what I think is fully loaded. But this is a nice bike. It's a nice bike to ride, and it's a really good all-rounder. So I hope you like the video, guys. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Give us a like, and I'll see you in the next one.